Please rise if you're able to for the Honorable Joshua F. Tenorio, Segundo Magalohan, Guahan, Lieutenant Governor of Guam. I'm going to give this a try because I'm very low energy. Half a day. Oh, wow, that was pretty good. I know I'm keeping you from the weekend. Half a day, Biba Betnes, welcome to the Office of the Governor of Guam. We are delighted to have you here with us this afternoon to proclaim October 2025 as National Pedestrian Safety Month. Before we begin, of course, I do want to acknowledge the presence, starting with our Honorable Joshua F. Tenorio, Segundo Magalohan, Guahan, Lieutenant Governor of Guam. Let's give him a round of applause. My favorite man to call when there's a bump in the road, DPW Director Vince Areola. And his deputy, Miss Linda Ibanez. Let's give her a round of applause. We have Fire Chief Darren Burrier here. Let's give him a round of applause. And Battalion Fire Chief Rod Menno. That's Guam Fire Department. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. For the Guam Police Department, we have Chief of Police, our top cop, Steve Ignacio, half a day, as well as Colonel Joseph Carbolito. Representing our Port Police, our Assistant Police Chief is Rosanna Stone. I also want to acknowledge Master Gunnery Sergeant Christopher Kravenko, Communications Chief S6, Marine Corps Camp Blas. Half a day. From the Judiciary Guam, we have Miss Mary Grace, half a day, our partner from the 3rd branch. Also, Mr. Arnel B. Bonto, President for Nissan Guam, half a day. Yes. As well as Journey Beltran, General Manager for Nissan. I also want to acknowledge from the Veterans Affairs Office, Colonel Joe Mofnis, our liaison. And last but not least, all of our DPW and Office of Highway Safety staff joining us. Thank you. We wouldn't be here without you today. Let's give them a round of applause. Without further ado, I want to give the microphone to Vince Areola, our Director for the Department of Public Works.
Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, Acting Governor Tenorio. Very pleased to be here once again to honor and proclaim the month of October as Pedestrian Safety Month. As always, I'm always very pleased to see all the safety and law enforcement officers from all the different branches. Thank you so much for your help. I'm never remiss about acknowledging the work that you folks do out in the field, because we all know it's not an easy task being out there with all the different motorists and pedestrians, construction, heavy equipment, the weather. Granted, you have very, very, very smooth roads, but still, you have to you still have to be careful. But seriously, all kidding aside, thank you very much for all your help from GFD, GPD, Port Police, Judiciary. Let's see who else. The airport, of course, and our fine folks from the auto companies, and of course our partners from the military side. Thank you for joining us and honoring us with your presence here. This is you know, we don't really have too many pedestrians here in Guam, but the pedestrians that we do have, they're on the roads, they're on the sidewalks, and they're still very present among our roads, our highways, and our drivers. The last count that I saw, at least according to revenue tax, we have over 115,000 registered vehicles on Guam. That's a lot of vehicles. On our routed highways, that constitutes about 150 linear miles of routed highways. So the rest of the about 650 miles are on secondary roads and village streets, right? So if you just take all those numbers and you put them together, that's a lot of cars on the road. And so those cars have to be really careful and mindful that we do have pedestrians. I think as our tourism numbers grow, you're going to see the pedestrians grow as well, especially down in Tumon, all the way to GPO and now that Donkey is opened up, you're seeing a lot more pedestrians walking to and from different places out there. So again, we want to urge all our motorists and our pedestrians to both be careful as you're walking along the roads and as you're driving along the roads. And hopefully we bring the numbers down in terms of accidents and fatalities, of course. And we just wish everybody a safe month. And as I always say, we've got the holidays coming up. So that's something we really have to look forward. Let's have a nice, safe holiday season for everybody. Special thanks to my staff at Office of Highway Safety. They're looking at me, just winking, you know. Don't forget us. But they're a fantastic group to work with. They make a lot of these proclamations, and they make a lot of these projects and initiatives happen through their hard work, of course, working with our federal counterparts. But so thank you very much, staff of OHS, and thank you everybody for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vince. I now want to give the floor to the Honorable Joshua Tenori, our Lieutenant Governor of Guam.
Thanks, Vince. Well, one thing I know is Office of Highway Safety is the favorite partner for a lot of the agencies. But that's because they provide pathways for training, right? I remember a few years ago, the presiding judge and I had a partnership where we worked with Office of Highway Safety to get everybody trained with some of the new things happening, right? When we legalized marijuana, also have to be some training about how to talk to our people about impaired driving, and also, the proper testing to understand when a person is actively intoxicated. So as you know, blood tests tell certain things, but there's certain things that you need to do on top of that that can be utilized to make a case. And in this case, really, we're bringing attention so that people understand what the laws are. Pedestrian safety, as Vince said, is very important. Sometimes we don't think about it too much because people in Guam love to drive. They don't want to park far from the entrance to a building. But if we're looking at our recent statistics, we know that sometimes the fatalities happen to be homeless individuals, individuals that may be having a mental health illness, or folks that are taking the risk and crossing streets not in well-lit areas, certainly without the guidance of a pedestrian crosswalk. And we know that there are certain parts of the island where we know that pedestrian safety is challenging. Just right in front of our office, they call it the dead man's curve. It's not a nice thing to say, but it's been like that for generations because of the topography that we have, right? I mean, it's really not safe to walk over there. So today, we're gathering all of our partners to really bring attention to the cause of pedestrian safety, to remind our drivers that when they're out on the road, to be very mindful about what's in their surroundings. And as Vince talked about, we have an active tourism industry, and we have a lot of pedestrians. I think the number one pedestrian area that I see is the Kmart intersection, right? We always talk, is it that we can do to look at safety? Not only is that Kmart intersection traversed by a lot of tourists, but we also have high school students from two different schools now, since there's a double session going on. You see the volume of people that are in certain areas of the island. And so we rely on our partnerships with the Guam Police Department, with the other police departments that have a certain kind of authorities within their vicinities. The first responders over at Guam Fire Department who have to respond and often are the ones that have to see the fatalities. And when the police work is done, and I know that OHS and GPD also partner together to bring the right kind of training out for our traffic investigators, right? Trying to piece together what's going on. A lot of that results in the agencies. To the judiciary, thank you for being here. I realize that, we have a DWI court, we have a drug court, and in many ways, a lot of the folks that kind of get picked up Fortunately, or hopefully, they haven't harmed anybody. That's part of the public safety. But for our pedestrians, please be mindful of the law. But also for the drivers, please be mindful of our pedestrians. Let's value life. Sidus Maasi and Biba National Pedestrian Safety Month.
Biba. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. And I think it's very appropriate that Pedestrian Safety Month is in October when there's a high volume of pedestrians at the later part of this month for Halloween. So now I want to give the floor to our reader for the proclamation today. Ms. Linda Ben is Deputy Director for the Department of Public Works.
A proclamation of the Governor proclaiming October 2025 as National Pedestrian Safety Month. Whereas the month of October is observed as National Pedestrian Safety Month across the United States and throughout Guam, emphasizing that all drivers are urged to protect pedestrians and all residents are encouraged to obey traffic laws and share responsibility for roadway safety. Whereas both drivers and pedestrians must work together and practice safe behaviors, drivers are reminded to slow down, stay alert for people walking on our roadways, and take extra precaution to help protect pedestrians, while pedestrians are urged to cross at designated areas and make eye contact with drivers when walking about in our community. Whereas drivers must remember that at some point there too are pedestrians. Pedestrians' fatality remains a tragic concern on Guam's roadways. In the calendar year 2024, Guam experienced 3,994 crashes resulting in 15 fatalities, 6 of which involved pedestrians, accounting for 40% of roadway deaths. In calendar year 2023, Guam recorded 1,837 crashes with 10 fatalities, 4 of which involved pedestrians, and 1 involved a bicyclist, again compromising 40% of our roadway fatalities. Whereas roadway safety is shared responsibility among all stakeholders, including those who plan, design, build, operate, and use our transportation system. As our island community continues to grow, we must work together to prevent and eliminate crashes that result in serious injuries and fatalities. Whereas in observance of National Pedestrian Safety Month, this administration continues to promote the safe system approach, which recognizes that it is unacceptable to allow preventable roadway fatalities and serious injuries to occur. This approach includes promoting and implementing safe road use, safe vehicles, safe speed, safe road, and post-crash care. And whereas the Department of Public Works Office of Highway Safety will increase educational outreach, advocate efforts to promote pedestrians and drivers' safety throughout our island community. DPW OHS public partnership and engagement will continue to tailor safety message and initiatives to specifically demographically acknowledging their various levels of experience, risks, perception, and understanding to increase engagement and effectiveness for the island's greater roadway safety.
Now, therefore, I, Joshua F. Tenorio, Segundo Magalahin Guahan, Lieutenant Governor of Guam, hereby and together with Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero, Magahagan Guahan, Governor of Guam, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Organic Act of Guam as amended, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as National Pedestrian Safety Month. I further cause a Great Seal of Guam to be fixed here in our capital village of Hagåtña on this 3rd day of October in the year of our Lord, Anno Domini 2025. Biba National Pedestrian Safety Month.
Thank you so much, Linda, and thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor. I now want to call everyone up for a group photo and wish everyone goodbye and have a great, safe weekend.